guys, Fancy Manda here. I apologize that I've been gone for so long. Like, I haven't actually like updated or given any actual, I would say, good videos in a while. I don't know. So I've been very like busy with life. I've been helping my mom move. She finally just finished on the last day of November, so on Thursday. I didn't help her on Thursday, you know, I didn't. But for the weeks before that, I was helping her. I've also had a lot of like really crappy things going on in my sorority that I've been having to deal with. I'm still trying to sort out. I have made a video, but I don't think it's appropriate to post it at this point. It may at some point become appropriate to post, so that could be a thing. But I may give you like a synopsis of what's going on later on. Right now I'd like to just talk about something that's been making me kind of giggle a lot lately. So I'm being catfished. I mean, is it really catfishing if it's obvious and I'm not falling for it? Yeah. So, like most people, maybe not most people, like a lot of people, I have the app called Tinder. And when I get really bored, I go on there swiping. Like I said, I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I don't plan on being around the country long enough to have a long-term steady boyfriend, like long-term relationship boyfriend in the United States, because I plan on not being here in about 2 years. So so that's not what I'm looking for or anything. I'm just trying to waste time and make myself not so bored. So I just swipe. And I tend to swipe on only people that I find to be very attractive. I know it's shallow, whatever. But I swiped on this guy, and we will call him, let's call him Matthew. And he has tan skin, he looks very young. Once I matched with him, I actually looked at his bio and was very surprised to find out that he was 30 years old, because he didn't look 30. I don't tend to like people who are older than me, especially if they look older than me. It's just a preference. So I see that this guy is 30, but he looks like he's like 22, 23, 24 in that area. So I'm like, okay, and he's like very attractive, tan skin, dark hair. I like that. I don't usually like muscly men. I think it's a bit excessive. You don't have to be super muscular and super built to be attractive, or to be healthy either. I like a healthy looking man, usually more slender or thin, average sized. That's about it. But this, I was like, okay, cool, I matched with somebody. I tend to, if I match with somebody, I tend to just like check them out. I never ever send messages first. It's just, I'm not interested. Chuck! Sorry guys. Chuck is rubbing on my tripod, so if you see random jerks, it's because of him. Because of him. Come here. He's coming to say hi. Say hi, Chuck. Okay. Alright, so So we matched on Tinder. I checked out his bio. Right. That's where we are. My first thought is like, why is this kid matching with me? Because I am a plus size 30-year-old woman, well, soon to be 30-year-old woman. This guy could get himself a very attractive woman. I'm not saying I'm not attractive. I think I am a very decent looking human being. I do have my flaws, of course, you know, but still, he was like way, like, in my opinion, out of my league looks wise. Intelligence wise, not so much. Okay, well, we'll find out. So I close out of Tinder and everything, go about my day, and then I get a message from this kid. And he asks how I'm doing, like, how are you? What are you up to? Are you married? Now, my automatic assumption, and I could be wrong about this, but if a person is on Tinder, usually, I would say half the time, 75% of the time, are single or at least not married. So I'm like, no, I'm divorced. Do you have children? No. Well, how do you get money? Boy, is that your business? Do I need a man to bring me in money? No, I don't. Like, I was like, that's a bit inappropriate to be asking. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. He asks, he tells me that he's from Bluefield, West Virginia, which is very, very close to where I live. And he asks where I'm from, and I said I'm from Princeton. And, that we were pretty close. And he's like, yeah. And I think at that point we, like, stopped talking for a little, like, for the rest of the night. And then he, like, messaged me the next day and, what did he? See, the thing is, he deleted his Tinder, so I can't go and look at the messages. I should have, like, screenshotted them or something. I didn't think that far ahead. Oh, I'm so smart. But, like, he said something about his deployment. And, no, wait. I questioned him on, if he was from Bluefield. Why does his profile say that he is 5,000 plus miles away? Because Bluefield is very close. It should only be 15 to 30 miles away. Like, 30 is pushing it. That means you're, like, in Bluefield, Virginia, not Bluefield, West Virginia. And he's like, well, I'm on deployment in San Jose, California. And I'm like, but are you really? Already suspicious, super suspicious. And I'm like, well, I mean, your profile says, or your bio says that, and it usually goes based off of, like, GPS and stuff. And he's like, no, it doesn't say that. And I go and I look, and it doesn't say it anymore, so, like, I'm the crazy one, right? I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't say it anymore, so whatever. And I go and I'm like, I Google how far San Jose is from Princeton, West Virginia. And it's less than 3,000 miles. It's pretty close to 3,000 miles away. I'm like, okay. He's lying. For sure. And then, so I'm, like, super suspicious, super suspicious of, like, this is not who this person is saying, like, who he is. And I was like, do you have Snapchat? Because I can usually talk somebody into sending me like their picture over Snapchat. You can't do that on Tinder. You can't send pictures at all, let alone ones that you know were taken right then. So he's like, no, I don't have Snapchat, but I have Kik. I'm like, that tells you everything right there. You have Kik. Unfortunately, I have one too, but I have it because I have a little brother, and that's what he was using to communicate with people, and so he asked me to download it so that he could message me. So I did, and I just haven't gotten rid of it. I really, honestly don't use it that often at all. I find it to be disgusting, filled with disgusting people. But I give him my Kik because I do know that there's a feature that tells you if they have pretty much taken that picture right at that moment and sent it to you directly, or if it was basically taken from their camera roll. So he messages me on Kik and says, he's like, hi, how are you? And then I go straight into like I'm finding shit out mode, and I was like, I hate to be this way, but can you take a picture and send it to me in this app? Like, you know, I really want to see, I didn't say this to him, but I was like, I want to see who I'm actually talking to, because I know it isn't this guy. Yeah, but we aren't allowed to, so I'm sorry. And I was like, we? Like, we who? Yeah, I mean, everybody in this camp. Now, I'm not sure, I'm not in the military. Do they call barracks camps? Do they call that? Please, let me know down below. I mean, is that a thing? I didn't Google it. I should have Googled it. Whatever. So, I was like, okay, I know my sister was in basic training, and during basic training, she wasn't allowed to have her phone. This guy's allowed to have his phone, so, and he said he's on deployment. And I think deployment is different than basic training, as in you have more leeway, or like freedoms. So I was like, so you can have your phone, but you can't take a picture of yourself? That's suspicious, right? That's suspicious. I feel like I'm not in the wrong for saying that. Not my fault, baby. Boy, why are you calling me baby, first off? Don't. But he didn't stop. He still does. It just annoys me. I'm sorry for that. I think you're mad at me. I'm not mad. You know. And I was like, I'm just a bit suspicious is all. Because California is about 3,000 miles away. And your bio says that you are 5,000 miles away. And then he's like, no, that's it. I'm not lying. Why would I lie to you? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so, like, I think I was like, I was over it at that point. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Goodbye. Good night. You know what? He's like, text me in the morning. You know, okay. I didn't text him in the morning. He texts me good morning. I'm like, it's not morning. I was in the middle of class, so he's like, what are you up to? And I was like, I'm in my printmaking class, finishing up my final project. That's good. Send me your pic. I was like, only if you send one yours first. No, because I asked first. I was like, boy, don't go there. Because actually I asked first. Actually I asked first. Do not go there. Last night. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty factual. Actual factual here. And so he sends me a picture. This. Handsome man, right? Very handsome man. However, I do not believe that this is him. Okay. So, I'm like, send me it from the app. Send me a picture from the app. I think I told you already that we aren't allowed to do that. CCTV camera everywhere. Then I was like, fine, then I'll send you an old picture too. I sent him a picture that anybody can go and see of me. It's just of my face, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I don't like to take pictures that aren't of just my face, because, you know, whatever. And then he's like, I took this on my first day of deployment. And then in Tinder, I'm pretty sure he told me that he deployed to California, which also, if there's any military people, is that a thing? Do we have deployments to California? Or is that like more like basic training and like AIT and stuff like that? Like, go ahead and inform me, because I don't want to seem unintelligent, whatever. So he took that his first day of deployment. And in my head, I'm like, if you could have taken that picture on your first day of deployment, how come you can't take a picture now? Please, please tell me. Because you can, and you're just not that person. Okay. Somehow he has found a lot of pictures of this guy, because he has several pictures, and it's of the same guy. And I did try to do like a Google image search. The only one that came up was that one, and it was on like Pinterest boards of like sexy military men and stuff, but it didn't actually say who the man was. So, and then on Facebook, I typed in the name that he has given as his name, and it comes up with the same picture. It's different pictures, but of the same man, and he only has like 2 of them, and his friends are only what looks like to be middle-aged, semi-unattractive women. So, so I think he is trying to scam a lot of women. So, like, that's the main reason I'm making this. I don't want you guys or anybody to get scammed. Just use your brain when talking to these kinds of people, okay? So next day, I just stopped talking to him. So, like, later on in the day, he messaged me, and then he's like, how important is it for your family to accept your partner? And I was like, I mean, I guess that's a good question, except for I'm Caucasian, and I don't want to seem like racist or anything, but I don't normally like to date Caucasian men anyway, but my family is very dead set on us not dating outside of our race. I do, but they don't particularly like it. But I was like, in my brain, you're Caucasian, I assume, because all your pictures are of a Caucasian man. I'm a Caucasian woman. We're around the same age. You're fairly attractive. Supposedly, you're in the military. That's not, you know, like, I'm not seeing, from what you're trying to present me, why would there be a problem? But, I mean, like, that's just my thought process, you know? And so I was like, I gave him an honest answer. I was like, if it's something that I would prefer, but if it's love, and my family hated that or didn't like that person for whatever reason, I would stand up for that person. I would try to get my family to see that person the way I see that person, because honestly, love doesn't come easy to a lot of people. So And I went on to explain that I have in the past dated outside my race. My family did not particularly enjoy that, but they dealt with it. They were nice to him because of how I felt about him. And then he asks, do you believe in soulmates? Like, okay. Another, I guess, decent question, maybe? Like, I don't know. Do you guys go around asking people if they believe in soulmates? Because I don't. So I was like, I haven't met mine, if there is a such thing, except for I had explained that, like, soulmates don't have to be on a romantic level, and I explained that I do think that I found a soulmate in my best friend, Veronica, but it's not like a romantic type soulmate. It's like my soul legitimately harmonizes with hers. Like we were meant to be friends. Like, I don't think that I would be as... I wouldn't be the person that I am right now if it wasn't for meeting her. So, like, if that makes sense, like, I believe in a soulmate of that form, and sometimes, I don't know, it's just really hard. I don't believe in just, like, there's one person out there meant for me, and I'm meant for just one person, and if we don't meet, that we'll never be completely happy with lives. I don't believe in that. And he goes on to say, I believe in soulmates, but I believe that most people do not find them. So rather than find their soulmate, people settle for someone that they can live with, rather than finding that someone they can't live without. But I believe I have found my soulmate. And I was like, how so? What are you talking about? Because I think we are meant together. First off, I don't know what that means. I think he said meant to be together, but translations didn't work out. Because, like I said, I'm suspicious that he is not a native English speaker. And I actually did bring that up. I asked him, I was like, I'm not trying to sound rude, but are you a native English speaker? Because you form sentences differently than a native English speaker would. And he said that he used to live in Mexico, which when I looked him up on the Facebook, it said that his hometown is Mexico City, Mexico. And that he currently lives in Los Angeles, California. So, whatever. I don't think Los Angeles and San Jose are the same place in California, but it's the same state. So the guy is semi-keeping to the story of his Facebook. And I was like, so you're from Mexico? And he's like, well, my dad is. So his dad is from Mexico. He didn't say where his mom was from, you know, West Virginia maybe. So I'm like, okay. I think at that point I was like, I'm going to sleep again, you know. And I think it was like the next day he asked, or he kept talking, whatever. And then out of nowhere, he's like, I need you to help me with something with my phone. And I was like, what? And he's like, I need to update my phone, so I need an iTunes card. have an iPhone as well. I have had an iPhone for 5 years, which I know there are people who have had them longer. And I have never, ever, 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 ever had to pay for a update. So I was like, no. No. You picked the wrong girl. Sorry. Not gonna happen. What's wrong? What do you mean? Like, first off, I'm not made of money, and I barely have money to get my nieces gifts for Christmas. I'm not going out and spending a lot of money for you to have an iTunes card for somebody I don't even know. Like, I do not know you. I am not going out and buying you an iTunes card. That is out of the question. So you're not gonna help me? No, I'm not gonna help you. No, this is not. And then, let's see, a couple minutes ago, he messaged me and said, what bank do you use? Why? That's what I asked him. But, like, why do you want to know what bank I use? That's not something I'm going to tell you, ever. No. I think we are going to get paid soon. You're going to get the money for me and send it to me here. What are you talking about? You don't understand? No, I don't. I mean, the military is get us paid, so they have to pay the money to an account, and we don't have asses. I think he means access to our own accounts on deployment. Again, if you're in the military, tell me, do you have access to your own account? Or do you need some lonely, desperate, old, fat woman to send you her bank account number? I don't think that. I don't think so. Also, he asked me what my full name was, because he kept on my Kick. I don't have my real name. I put Fancy Manda because that's my name for everything. So he kept calling me Fancy, and I was like, my name isn't Fancy. My name isn't Fancy. It isn't? Boy, you messed with me on Tinder. It said very clearly that my name was Amanda. I was like, no, my name is Amanda. Oh, what's your full name? I don't care to tell people my last name. It's not a big deal. My last name is Woods. My name is Amanda Woods. What's your middle name? What do you mean? Why do you need my full name? You don't know me. I don't know you. I'm not telling you my middle name. That is personal to me. So, I was like, guess. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at guessing. Just tell me. I'm like, no. Try. Guess. And he guesses Tracy. And I'm like, no, it's not Tracy. Actually, first off, he asked me where I originate from. So, like, what country am I originally from? That's not something that would... Does that change my name? He asked what country I was from. So I was like, I'm from the US. I'm American. And so he's like, okay. And then he guesses Tracy. I don't know why that would be an American middle name. But okay, he guesses Tracy. And I was like, no, my name's not Tracy. My middle name doesn't start with T. Well, what does your middle name start with? So I made up a letter. Because I'm not going to tell him the real letter either. So I tell him L. Like, okay. And he's like, I don't know. Just tell me. And so I just make up a middle name, and I'm like, my middle name is Lee, you know? Oh, okay. And then that's when he asks me to send him money, and I'm like, no, buddy, not gonna happen. I'm not giving you my bank account number. Never, ever. Ever. So, I haven't responded to that yet, because that happened while making this video. And basically, if you, anywhere in the country, if you are an older woman and you see a very handsome, very young looking man asking you for money, turn and run. Turn and run, especially if his locations don't add up. Oh, I totally forgot about his deploy. He said that soon he was going to probably be deployed to West Africa. Suspicious me goes looking on Google. How far away is West Africa from Princeton, West Virginia? Do you guys know? 5,000 miles. This guy is already in West Africa. He is from West Africa. It's strange that he picked my area of West Virginia to, like, wouldn't you pick, like, a more well-off state, first off? Like, let's go for one of the poorest states in the country. I'm gonna try to scam people in West Virginia for money. So, yeah. He swears he's not there yet. That he is going to be in Nigeria on Friday. And I was like, you sure you're not there already? What are you talking about? I'm in California. Like, okay. If you say so. Oh, boy. So there you go. That's my story of a man who is trying to catfish me and it not working, and me kind of like egging it on because I find it to be hilarious. So, if you guys, any of you guys have had a situation like this, I'd love to hear about it. Please comment down below. Tell me all about it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. I love having you guys watch my videos. It makes me so happy. And have a beautiful day. Bye.